I want to talk about why people don't tithe. Tithing is discussed in Malachi 3, 8 through 12, right in there. The tithe is the first 10% of your income. And God says in this passage, he's talking to the people of Israel, and he says that you're robbing me by not bringing in the tithe. And if you do bring in the tithe, you got to go read this and study it yourself. I'm paraphrasing this on purpose so that you can go read it and analyze it. So he says that you're robbing me because you're not bringing in the whole tithe. You're robbing me in tithes and offerings. That's two different things. And that's how he says his people at this time were robbing him. So he says, test me. Bring in the whole tithe and see if I won't open up the floodgates of heaven and pour out such blessing on you, you won't have room enough to receive it. And he will rebuke the devourer on our behalf if we just do this. So what are some of the reasons that theologians, pastors, whoever, people in the church, I'm going to call it, they're making an argument that you don't have to tithe? Well, first of all, I would ask this. Why are you trying to figure out or show that you don't have to tithe? Well, first they say, we're no longer under the law. That's one reason. That was for Israel back when they were under the covenant. Abraham gave 10% to Melchizedek. Well, that was a one-time thing. That wasn't a regular thing. And these are all arguments on why God does not tell us to tithe. Tithe was given to the Levites, the priests. Why? So that they could support themselves. Well, no, we don't have Levites or priests in the church, where, the Christian church, but we have pastors, we have electric bills, and I think you have a bill too. So the laborer is worthy of the wage, but what about keeping the lights on? What about the people that are serving God and ministering to you, like pastors? Who's supposed to pay for that? So I think it's the same there. Now, Jesus affirmed that, yes, you should tithe. That's in Matthew 23:23, when he said you're doing all these things, but you're neglecting the more important things. Yes, you should still tithe. And the argument there is that this was before the new covenant. Really? How about this one? I volunteer at church. I give my time. Well, ask yourself this, all you people out there that are arguing against the tithe, why are you arguing against the tithe? And I'll tell you in a minute exactly why. But why? Why are you analyzing and coming up with all these reasons and saying why you shouldn't give at least 10%? I believe the tithe should go to your church that you attend. That's where it should go, in my opinion. And I think that that's backed up by some of the things I just said. So why? Why are people so focused on analyzing and figuring out why the Word of God actually tells us we don't have to tithe, or shouldn't tithe, or you don't have to tithe? Here's your one reason: fear. If you trust God, come on, it's 10%. Give 15, give 20, give something more reasonable. But that's why. That's why people don't tithe. Fear. And if you think it's not, you need to analyze how you're thinking on this topic, because I say it's fear.